pulling all-nighters to get it done. They might undermine your efforts with comments about how you don't know what you're doing, making you doubt your own expertise. Now, at this point, I'm going to tell you 3 different stories. Hi guys, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. One is recently I was speaking to someone and he was telling me how he experienced this form of gaslighting where he's being questioned on his expertise. He ran tests and results. The whatever mechanical equipment that they are using provided the results, gave it to his manager. His manager came back questioning his readings, telling him that he's not doing it well, is he sure, and all those sort of things. So he felt that his expertise were being questioned, and he said he actually felt a bit racist for him, but he didn't go through that route. He was simple. I think he was trying to make sure that things were fine. I think what come to his rescue was that someone else came and said yes, that those equipments were reading things high. These are some of the things. I know this may seem like everyone experiences this example. The problem is that when it becomes that every other person's result is accepted and yours is the one questioned, and whenever you do something, your expertise is questioned, you are actually mocked for your, maybe even if making the slightest mistake. That really is the way that a gaslighter tries to show their superiority and undermine your efforts. Another story, I have a friend who has told me how she worked on different big projects in this UK, including HS2 that we are yet to experience. But yet, when research are published, she is not included. When things like when she goes out to carry research, test things and things like that, she's not included. Rather, if she makes the slightest mistake, like maybe saying something like when is meant to be go, the person will bring, like, her manager will call her back to office to correct that one mistake. And whilst it's good to be great at your job, some people can take this route when it comes to promotion to undermine you and make you be seen in the negative light. And because mostly I'm like these things are mostly because you are an immigrant. To her, she says that because her competitor knew that she is more qualified than her and has diverse experience than her, she tries everything to bring her down. The slightest thing, she will take it to either the manager or someone to look at, rather than coming to her to resolve the issue. So gaslighters, this is some of the little things that they do. Okay, they try to pull you down every single time. Okay, they question your expertise. Another one, it says Sakis continue to say that extreme gaslighters might even say despairing things or touch you inappropriately. For example, your hair. As a black person, I don't know about you guys, I don't really like being touched, like my hair being touched. And I don't really touch other people's hair unless I feel they are comfortable with it. You will find some people that will be like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. keep it as that, but then they'll add something like, oh my gosh, is that a wig? Oh my gosh, is that your real hair? Oh my gosh, oh, I know someone who has this type of hair. Seriously? Some people have a way of manipulating things like that. I knew one day at workplace, I did a really nice, beautiful hair. Came to work. Whilst other people were generally admiring the hair, come and see these jealous human rights or human beings. Come and be like, oh my gosh, I love your wig. I was like, it is my hair. I do not come to you and say I love your skin. You are wearing a cloth. I say I love your skin. I love your clothes. You look good. I do not need to mention whether you bought your clothes from Primark or whether you bought it from charity shop. If you admire someone, admire the person. The one thing with gaslighters is they do not like you being complimented. Rather, they'll find out one thing to down your spirit or to put a negative light on you. So you must be very careful of these people. Okay. The person continues to say that they also use racial slurs. Like, my friend was telling me how someone says, oh my gosh, I heard that black people's hair that have dreadlocks smell. I can totally leave my hair to become dreadlock by not washing it and combing it for the longest time. That is insult. If you didn't know, get it. It's an insult to whoever that wears dreadlocks, because not everyone that has dreadlocks leaves their hair dirty. The same way, not everyone that comes out of work is actually clean. Okay? So it's actually an insult. Things like that you need to pick up. Okay, so the person continues to say that they deny it when you confront them. I think I mentioned this earlier. When you confront these people, they often try to deny it. My friend experienced the same thing and said when she tried to confront the person, they said, oh, sorry, I can't remember doing that. I can't even remember saying that. Okay. And they claim, oh my gosh, it must have spilled out of my mouth. You know my mouth, I don't even have filters. Every single human being should have filters in their mouth. Because if you do not like to hear hurtful words, you should not also be spilling the same thing on others. They claim it to be an accident. Or they use this thing to say, I thought it was okay. It was never okay for you to use racial slurs. It's never okay for you to downgrade someone in front of others. It's never okay to call people names. Other times, as I mentioned, they use example of, oh my gosh, maybe they may use like, maybe Keisha. When I said this to Keisha, she didn't have a problem with that. I thought you'd be fine with it. I'm not Keisha. Neither am I Jessica. I'm me. So if I say this is not okay, then it is not okay to say it. Okay. Gaslighters, Saki says, they bend reality to make it their own version of the story to be true. They cross lines most of the times, which they get away with through their harassment behaviors. So if you do not check these people, they will wreck you. Okay, if you don't check them, they'll wreck you mentally. These are little seeds that are planted in your head every single time. Another way to spot a gaslighter is that whatever you say, they'll always find something different, or they find the reason why you shouldn't do it, or they'll point out someone who they feel they can do it better. Oh, this person also did it. I think we should totally use this other person because they've done it before. They also, at workplace, let's say if they are meant to be giving you referrals or meant to be helping you, they'll ensure that you have the lowest caseloads so that it feels like you're not doing anything. Other times, these people can even use, if they're in the place of power, they'll abuse that so much. I can't even describe it. If you have experiences of any of these things I'm talking about, please let us know below, because these people need to be pointed out. As an immigrant, you cannot be taking these things lightly. They are serious. Because they shed but negative light on you and the next person. So if we do not tackle it, the next person that is coming is going to experience it, and that person may experience it and not come out from it well. Even if you think you're strong, it's about helping other people. Tackle mental abuse, especially gaslighters, racial gaslighters to be precise, so that the workplace can become more harmonious for those of different ethnicities, specifically Black, African ethnicities. Because one thing I discover is that most Black people do not actually know what they're experiencing. Most of them can't describe it. I was like that until I started looking more into this issue. It is not right. Okay? So if you know someone who you think is experiencing this lot of mental bullies that comes in a very negative, persuasive, to some extent, manipulative to the deepest extent, and deceptive way, please share this video. It is important. So, moving on. You are not alone, as I mentioned. There are different ways to deal with these people. I've mentioned some of them, which is to challenge them or bring it to light what they are doing. Give them the benefit of a doubt if you wish to do this. Okay? There are different ways to deal with it. You don't have to suffer in silence. I was told to suffer in silence, and I refused to suffer in silence. This is the ways I dealt with. This is the way I dealt with some of these people. Okay? How do you deal with gaslighters? Regardless of their race. But since we are speaking about immigrants, this is how you deal with people that do gaslighting. One, you need to be somewhat confident. Okay? You need to be patient. These are some of the qualities. You need to be somehow resilient to some extent to help you fight this battle. So, one is to document everything. Time, date, emails, if it was through emails, notes or journals, how these things made you feel. Some people can go to the extent of recording. Most of the time this is frowned upon because you shouldn't be recording conversations at workplace. Okay. Don't trust your memory. This is the reason why you have to write these things down, because your memory can even get confused, and this is why when they start questioning your memory, you yourself get confused, and then you start doubting yourself. Okay. If you are going to keep any information, make sure you don't leave them in work computers, because if the issue was actually with your employer, they will take the evidence, they will take the computer, your evidence gets lost. So make sure you keep these things as personal files out from the workplace, at your home, which is more safer. Okay? Be also ready for negative backlash, because whistleblowing or complaining about an issue is not easy. The other colleagues, if they do find out, can come against you, especially if they do like the person. This has happened to me before, where I opened my email, wrote to my manager, instead of the person dealing with issue appropriately, they went and told the person that I was meant to be. I was complaining about. Poor management can also ruin your evidence, but you can always use it against the manager if worst comes to worst. Okay, familiarize yourself with your company policies. What does it say about racial bullying? What does it say about, or even the government one, what does it say about company policies about staff grievances? So you need to find out the staff grievances one and find them out. Read them, familiarize yourself with them, so that when you are writing, you are going to be using that as a reference. Talk with someone, maybe that gaslighter, to just air your views, air your feelings about what is taking place and how it makes you feel. Be firm, be direct. Don't be doing things in direct way. Don't go like, oh my gosh, well, like the other day, what you said, it didn't make me feel this way. I know I'm not sure, but I just wanted to find out whether you think what are you finding out from the person? You got nothing to find out. You know how you feel. Use these words. They are assertive. First of all, if the person's name is Jessica, call Jessica to a quiet place out of others. It's never good to confront someone in front of other people unless you are being confronted in public. But even at that, I always advise, do your best to make it private, because that's where you win your victories most of the time. If the name of the person is Jessica, call the person by their name. Hi Jessica, so hi, hope you're well. This is where you're kind of breaking things down, but not making it too harsh, because then they can get their defense up. Tell Jessica, on Monday afternoon, whilst we are having our lunch, I heard you making this type of joke, and be descriptive of the joke. I believe that joke is inappropriate, and this is how it made me feel about me. It made me feel that you are being racially biased. You are being a bully. Use that word. Don't be afraid to use those big words. And I thought it was very nasty of you to make use of those words. And I do not expect you, a person of your type, to be able to say such things. And I was actually disappointed about these things. And then bring a resolution before Jessica is able to speak. I would like for you to stop this. Something along this line, because I don't think it's appropriate. Quote company policies. This is what company policy says about bullying at workplace, and I will not hesitate to take this to the manager or to the company HR. Then you wait to hear what Jessica has to say. If Jessica is not saying anything useful, end the conversation. What I mean by anything useful is where they start blaming you. Okay, end that conversation. Okay, if you can't talk, email, being specific and precise, at least is in evidence. When you had that conversation with Jessica, if you're having it by face-to-face or in person, make sure you note the date, time, the length of the discussion, and what was the resolution. If then you don't see it being implied, this is where you take things further. Now, Saki has advised that you also do not lay accusations on the person when you're doing this sort of confrontation, and try not to have confrontational tone. As I mentioned, you'll get the person's defense up, then it may even not go well. All right, so things are critical in ways of dealing with gaslighters. Also, don't try to use negative feedbacks, because again, this can get their heart and mind racing, where they can become very defensive. Make sure you have this conversation in a safe place that is easily accessible by anyone, just in case that person is the type of person that can get violent or quite aggressive. Okay, however, if they start trying to use negative feedback on you, please bring back their history if you know any. Throw it in their face. Document this conversation, as I mentioned, and put it in an appropriate place. Most importantly, try to give them the benefit of a doubt, hoping that they will change, and give them a time frame to change that. It may be a mental time frame, or it may be a time frame agreed by between you and the other person. Jessica. Okay. If you believe the person will not listen to you, however, please speak to your manager directly. If your manager is the problem, speak to your senior manager. If your senior manager is the problem, go to HR. If you don't have a senior manager, skip your manager and go to HR and document your concern in the form of grievance letter. Okay? Another form is to seek advice from other staff who you may get on with, just to try and make sure that your opinion about this whole thing is going to be heard in a positive light. Not necessarily positive light, at least listen to. Okay? Just make sure you speak to someone else, even your family members. Let them give you their own perspective, because sometimes yes, we will have doubts in our own minds, but getting clarity on the issue definitely will help you become confident when addressing this with the gaslighter. Okay? If you are part of a union, which I'll totally recommend if you are in a good job, regardless of any job anyways, even if it's cleaning, please join one of their unions, trade union, unison, anything that is there to support staff. Please do join them, because then you can seek for advice, professional giving advice from these people, and they'll have it in their documents, so that if anything was to come out of this issue, you have them backing you up. You have representatives who they can send to advise and speak with your company if you don't know how to. Now, if you do not know how to speak English, I think definitely using a representative will be your best option. Okay. If you are not sure, however, how to go about all these things I've just mentioned, if you're not sure, go to your local advice centers. One of them being CBA, which stands for Citizen Advice Bureau. They are a government-free organization or charity organizations run by volunteers with different expertise. Go to them and seek for advice. You can also visit their website, which I'll put the link below, and see the different issues that they support. They have different knowledge in different areas of work. They can help you deal with your organization directly by either writing a letter. They can help you by referring you to someone who can help you deal with your organization or the issue at hand directly. So they can refer you to the other rights services if they're not able to help. Rights services, I mean those that are particularly specialized in the area of issue that you're struggling with. They can even help you write letters. If you visit their centers, you can also call them. You can now get advice over the phone. But I always advise you visit their centers, because I find it more helpful speaking to one of them in person. I've used these people before, and one of the best advice I've gotten there was from a particular person. Not all of them are good in advising, I wouldn't lie. It must be good for you to do your own research about them. But I have used them before, and for once they proved effective. So totally make use of your local CAB or Citizen Advice Bureau. They have different offices in different areas where you live, and they are often local to you. So that's one. They also help you deal with immigration and discrimination at work, especially if you're an immigrant. If you can't speak English, they'll totally advise you on it, and they may even have someone that speaks your language that could help you. If Citizen Advice Bureau is not your first take to go, there are other ones that are online. I found some. One is called Turn to Us. They help immigrants in UK. So another one is the Joint Council for Welfare of Immigrants. Search for these online. Some of the links I've mentioned I'll put on the description below, so that you can have a look at how they could help you. Contact them. So, to round up this conversation, don't let gaslighters ruin your career, ruin your life. There are so many things are here in stories of immigrants, precisely Nigerian immigrants, because that's the ones I surround myself with most of the time. I'm from Nigeria. What do you expect? They will tell you different things that people did to them, how this person showed them when. That means like that person really dealt with them in a negative form. How their manager did this and did that. I even remember when I was working in care, this particular man, I didn't even know who he was. But by the time I came at workplace, they were already telling me all sorts of things. Oh, don't believe what he says about us. Don't believe this. Don't believe that. I have not even met this person. When the person came to work, because it was meant to be two of us working, I didn't see anything wrong with him, to be honest. He's a Nigerian. I come to discover. That's when he told me all the rubbish and negative things he experienced at that workplace. To the extent that he said to them, do you want to sack me? You people did not employ me in this work. He literally took the power off them. It's like, this work was given to me by God. You people did not employ me. That's kind of taking power off human beings who think they have power over you. Okay? He says, what do you guys want? If you want, you can take back your job. Let me have my peace. He came to that extent that the man was about to cry. A grown-ass man with children, married. There are so many things that immigrants face in this country. One of them is this gaslighting, which takes place in a very subtle way. The only thing that really makes me sad is that most other immigrants don't even give listening ears to other people that have these issues. I even experienced it with my family members, but then again, I've become a bit stronger, a bit knowledgeable of myself, and a bit knowledgeable of the experiences that happened to me, to know that they cannot be tolerated. And I tackle them heads on from the time I discovered them. So I advise and encourage you to do the same. I know this video is very long, but things have to be said to put people in their places, to also help you work harmoniously. This gaslighting doesn't just have to happen at workplace. It also happens at your home. I've experienced it before. My mom experiences it still today. And on the other hand, I've learned to challenge these crazy people who think because they've been here longer than you, they can take advantage of that to bully you. Honey boo boo, not anymore. Okay, so for all my immigrants, take heart. There's someone that listens and understands you, and that is me. I understand all the things that immigrants face. Just find a friend or that other person that has listening ears who can give you good advice on how to deal with issues. The ones I've given to you are actually great and practical advice on how to deal it with hands on. Most people will give you the advice of be strong. This is how you do. You try to come, maybe even, what do they, I forgot, there's some other advice, really weird, stupid advices I've had when you bring these things up. They have never worked for me. Going through the formal way to deal with issues like this has worked. It helps put things in perspective to people at workplace. It's good to have a good working relationship with your colleagues. That's what everyone wants. But you can't do that at the stake of your own mental well-being. And that is what I will leave you with today. I hope this video helps someone else. If it helps you or gets you thinking, please do share with someone else. And as I mentioned again, consider subscribing and check out my blog on how to how to handle opposing spirits, as well as the video I mentioned before about my experiences at workplace and the bullying that took place. Some of them still do take place today, but I now control what happens to me most of the time. The things that I choose to do and things I choose not to do. On that note, this video, 1 hour video, oh well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Take care. It's me, Yogechi again. Takanson, signing off. Bye.